Hi, my name's Dee, your Professor of Woo Woo, and welcome to your special readings for not so much for the eclipse, we're out of the eclipse window now, but for integrating the eclipse energies. We've just had two very potent eclipses. I mean, all eclipses are supposed to be potent, aren't they? But the partial solar eclipse that was in Taurus gave us a great sense of promise. Not so much here's what you could have won, but here's what you can win. Whereas the Scorpio total lunar eclipse is more, and here's what you need to deal with while you're aiming for what you can win. Here's the crap you need to get out of the way. Here's the obstacles you have to overcome. Here's the things you have to let go of. Now, these eclipses, they're not just a 2-week length. As if you look at Dorotheus, he says for a solar eclipse, for each hour of the eclipse, you can assume that chart has power for a year. He's probably not phrased it like that, but it was a 4-hour long eclipse. This was really, really potent. This was very much awakening our minds or our souls or what have you into what we can achieve. Now, again, according to Dorotheus, an hour of a lunar eclipse is a month. I don't know how long the lunar eclipse lasted. I've looked it up a bit and I've forgotten already. I'm not sure I was even successful in finding how long it lasted. So comment down below. But as ever, I apologise that I have not been doing regular monthly readings. We've had some very strong astrology this year, and I have very much been, I'm not going to say been victim to it, because the majority of it has all been good. But I have been buffeted by it or kept busy by it, you know, between day job and out of work commitments as well. It's not left me a huge amount of time for filming. And of course, quick plug, I am working on my course to present through later this year through Bloodstone Studios about angels and demons in the chart and how they can be used for magical purposes and for interpretive purposes as well. But anyway, there is a timestamp down below for if you want to just fast forward past the waffle. But before you do, please listen to this once, because I'm going to say, watch your sun, your moon, and your rising if you know them all. If you've only got time for one, watch your rising. But your sun will be of a great help considering we're talking about eclipses. Ask a question prior to the reading. You'll have enough warning when I stop waffling. But take a moment, think about all of the questions or issues that surround you at the moment, and ask a question. But be aware of all of those questions, because the cards will answer what they please and not necessarily what you or I think is the most important one. But focus on one of the questions because it gives energy to the process. And the more, you know, energy in, energy out. So obviously all that good YouTube stuff, like, share, subscribe if you like it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I need to say. Oh yes, the other thing that kept me away from the readings was studying my astrology and learning the astrology, which, still working on that. Got distracted by angels and demons, so still working on my basic astrology. But as you can see from my bi-weekly videos with David, I'm getting there. You know, another 6 years, I'll be fine. Can't think of anything else. Please do comment down below if you've already had an effect from these eclipses. And so I will bring the readings up. So here's your timestamp, and we'll shoot. So it's the same intro for all of them. Next time you watch this, fast forward through it and just go to the timestamp if you watch your more than one reading. All right, see you in a moment. So Aries, this eclipse happened in your, let's think, your 2nd and 8th houses. So which is your money, other people's money, your resources, and those things that are hidden from you. And I can definitely see the emphasis of that South Node eclipse. We start with the Eight of Cups and the Nine of Wands here in the middle of the reading. Now, this is telling me that there's something where you have decided, yeah, that's it, I've had enough. I need to move on because it's this dream I've been chasing or this situation that I'm in. It's too much like hard work. Not that I'm going to diss hard work, but there's I was listening. That's perfect. I was listening the other night to. I went on a nostalgia trip, and I was listening to Hue and Cry's "Labour of Love." Too much pain for very little gain, and that's what this Eight of Cups, Nine of Wands is telling me. But nine is, it's like you have been pushed towards this decision, and with the Judgment card clarified by the Two of Cups, always a good sign, you are in that decisive mode. You are going to say, I am going to make these changes, come hell or high water. And hell and high water is quite an interesting phrase thinking about it, because opposing you, we have the devil. We have some form of restrictions. Now, this is a new tarot, the Tarot of the Divine, that I don't know who all the cards are. I would assume this fire serpent, would it be Jormungand? Or Fafnir? Or anyway, I'll have to look it up. But I'm not going to do it on camera, it takes too long. It actually really reminds me more of, if you know your classic Doctor Who, the Mara, this serpentine entity that used to take over and possess people's minds. And it's almost like there's, if you go that way, the way that you are impelled, because there's something with Estibus here, Angel of Divination, there is something that you have been drawn towards. So it's not just, I mean, you don't necessarily know what that is yet, but you know that there is a something over there. And whatever it is over there, I want to be over there to find out what that something is. And to be over there, you've got to leave here. And maybe that you are being told with this Knight of Wands here that you're being impulsive, that you are rushing blindly into things. I think, to be quite honest, there's an element of rushing blindly by staying where you are as well. So there's a definite something you are giving up on here. Conversely, it could be that there's a dream that you wanted to go towards that you finally say, no, I've had enough of that. I'm staying here. I'm making this union, whatever it is. But with Estibus, I'm more feeling that there is a pull to somewhere else. But we can't ignore the warning of that Knight of Wands that you could be rushing ahead too much. So whatever it is that you are doing, take it slowly. You need to take it slowly in your mind, because the world is going to do the exact opposite. We have, coming in from Spirit, the beneficent powers of the Empress, clarified by the Eight of Wands. So fast results quickly as soon as you make a move, even though I feel that you might not feel like you've got the energy to make that move. We've got the Nine of Wands again at the base with what you've got to work with the Seven of Pentacles. So that Seven of Pentacles, Minnow Pond, Chris calls it, is the juice worth the squeeze? What I want to call it here is where I am telling you to take it slowly, that each step has to be done correctly. So it doesn't matter, this Ghostlands card is saying living the now. The future isn't here yet, the past is gone. You can't live in the nostalgia, you cannot live in the future, because again, Estibus hasn't revealed everything. Estibus is not telling you this is where you're going to end up in 3 years' time, or 3 months' time, or 3 days' time, even. It's just saying there's something this way, there's something beautiful this way. You want to see this thing this way. And so finding all of the details out is going to take time. So each step that you take that moment to say, have I done this correctly? Have I left anything undone? Because that's a peril with the Seven of Pentacles. If there's something that you've missed, if there's something that you've omitted, then it will come back and bite you on the backside. You've already had a new beginning that was a stable and slow new beginning. So I almost feel like this, whatever it is that you're walking away from, was not necessarily that new beginning. May have been, but it's something that had certainly been in the world of that new beginning that had affected it somehow. Say you're learning to do one thing, but you're already on a course for something else, and you've said, I'm going to finish this course for something else. Fine. Academic year's coming to a close soon, so you'll have got to close it. Let's clarify this devil. And we've got Epos as the Two of Wands. So Epos tells of the past and the future. Again, this is clarifying the devil in the opposing position. So concentrate on what's going on now. If there is an urge drawing you somewhere, remember that this new beginning that you're on has already started, but you need to make a decision. You need to say, am I going to leave this dream? To which the cards here are saying, yeah, leave this one dream that's been too much hard work. So in terms of a job, that could be a job that's just causing you way too much stress for not enough gain, taking that labour of love imagery. Or it could be a relationship where you've known for a while, it's not working. It could be a project that you tell yourself you've had it on the boil, but basically it's barely even tepid, and you've not had that progression. So that would be what you're moving away from. Or because you're moving in this new direction, there's certain things that you need to just leave to one side. I am not saying that won't hurt. And I mean, that's the pleasure of the Scorpio eclipse. Of course it will hurt. It's been something that you've been invested in for some time. But you sever yourself from that before this new thing opens up. You are learning to see the world differently. With this particular hangman, I think that you're learning to use extra senses. You have learned from your confinement. If you look at this hanged man, it's the image of confinement is very strong there. You don't see the illumination around his head. But then again, you won't. He's wrapped in cloth. He can't see, but he can hear and he can feel and he can listen. And I think that's what's being called for you, because the world is going to change quite quickly, but you've got to be staying in the moment. It will be a challenge to juggle all of this. We've got on the bottoms of the deck, we've got Two of Pentacles, and on the main deck, the Six of Swords, going to somewhere better. This is going to take you somewhere better. And I've got a funny feeling that once you say, right, this is the direction I'm going to go, I don't know where I'm going to end up, because no, you don't know where you're going to end up. But you know the vague direction you want to move in, which is away from where you are now. There are other people that will support you in this and actually assist you. And I think with this Nine of Cups here, there's an element of other people saying, well, it's about blooming time. They are going to help empower you in this situation. And then we have the Page of Coins, somebody offering a new beginning. So if that's in a relationship context, that speaks for itself. But it could be in a job context where, again, it speaks for itself. It being offered a new job where you think, oh my God, what? I don't know what I'm doing here. Feels okay, feels right. Don't know a thing about it yet. So, yeah, because hopes and fears. There's Six of Cups clarified by the Magician. There's with this Six of Cups nostalgia card, there's this element of feeling like you have been settling, that you've been trying to keep things as they were. And with the Magician card, normally I love the Magician card, but in this position, have you been a little bit too controlling of your environment recently? Because all of this is saying open up. Um, or have you been manipulated somehow into the environment that you're in, which would explain the dissatisfaction that you've been feeling with these two Nine of Wands and that sense of being constricted. But what I really love, also, we have the World card from the, what do you call this one? The Energy Oracle. And that's a card that speaks of broadening your horizons, opening your eyes to believe that more things are possible. Now, I believe that chasing after this new dream, whatever it is, or reaffirming to something in your life which may already exist, but it still means that you are letting go to something. Because with that Two of Pentacles and Epos with the Two of Wands, that it is decision time and you're in a mood to make a decision with this Judgment card. So it's commit or move on. In fact, that's what I might call the reading, commit or move on. Because at the very end of it, we have Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment, Four of Wands. So that's an active foundation. Obviously, it's the marriage card, it's the contract card. But I really like the idea that it's an active foundation. Fire is in motion. Wands are ideas coupled with action to a certain extent. Because I'm not going to say that they're ideas, that would be swords. But that four really speaks to me of a firm base. And here it is a marriage card. It is a commitment. It is a legal agreement with the Queen of Cups. Now, it's funny, I was watching one of Minnow Pond's readings this morning. He was saying everybody's getting the Queen of Cups at the moment, and he's seeing it as a protect your emotions, because we are living in a volatile time. I can agree with that, but I really feel like she's got her hand on the cup. Let me put that in front of my face so it'll hopefully focus. On the wine glass in this case. And I feel like there's something in there, some secret, 8th house, some secret that she's waiting to release. So that's some secret that you are waiting to release, some emotion or and idea. I'm not going to say or, it's emotion and. That you've maybe kept to yourself, and it's time for it to have the light of day, to experience the world, to go to a better place. And there we have, right under that Six of Swords, we have you, the Emperor. So there's a huge message there about it's time to move forward. So it's commit or move on. That's the best way that I can say this. Let's just have a look if there's an angel who wants to come out to... I sound like a hippie, don't I? But I love working with the Kabbalistic angels. We have the Ace of Wands on my L. Fertility and multiplicity, protects against despair, helps one be patient. So be patient with yourself, Aries. That's what I was saying. The world is going to be moving fast. As soon as you make this decision, as soon as you commit or commit to moving on, whichever, the world will be supporting that and it will be moving fast. But you need to live in the moment and worry about what you're doing now, not what you did yesterday, not what you're going to do tomorrow. Make sure that you take each step correctly. If you need to submit forms, if you need to write documents, if you need to sign something, if you need to clean out the outhouse, you know, whatever preparation work that you need to do for what you're doing, or for the next step of what you're doing, then do the prep work. This is, I'm feeling really, really positive about it. Finally, we have Dantalion from the Fallen Angel Oracle. Card number 71, or possibly even spirit number 71, I can't remember, representing here empathy. Now, that's a curious one. Dantalion is great for working with the way that a person thinks. It's also good for love magic, if I remember correctly. So I want to say it's almost like you've got to feel empathy with yourself. That's how I want to frame it, because if it's a person that you're walking away from, then you're walking away from them. The empathy has its place there, but it's not overly important because you're walking away. Don't strike me down for saying that. If you are, certainly if you are committing to a partnership, then that empathy is far more important. But less than empathy, it's be aware of how you are feeling, which is why I'm saying empathy with yourself. Be aware of how you're thinking, because you have been constrained for one reason or another. Whatever the reason was, you have been constrained, and now your dissatisfaction with that constraint is showing. So, dive in or move on. There is that, like I say with Estibus, there is that huge sense of moving on, of saying, wherever you get that feeling of there is a treasure this way. Is there, like, should I do that in a pirate voice? Ahoy, there be treasure, or something. There's that sense of there's something special this way. And whatever, it's not going to explain itself initially, but trust that feeling. Right, so if this means anything to you, Aries, comment down below, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Bear in mind, this is a guide. This is not to make decisions for you. This is for you to listen to and see how you feel about it. And if your feelings say, oh my God, no, then listen to them, not me. Right. Cheers.